Check, check, check. Hopefully you can hear me. Getting everything set up real quick. Got a couple things I really want to try today. Saw some interesting stuff floating around, so we might be trying out some experimental stuff. Get this fixed really fast. Sweet. All right. I'm just gonna jump straight into it. So I've got some matchup profiles that aren't accurate, so we're gonna be sideboarding manually. Victor, I want to go second probably. I think having Blunderbuss for Guardian is important. I think most of the rest is stuff that I like. I like Crown of Dominion here to start off on gold, but I could also reasonably see this. Let's see here. Definitely want to be able to steal his gold, so we'll kind of take a few changes here. Let's see. We're gonna yellow, maybe one. Oh no, Sunken Treasure's decently live here. Maybe one less Loan Shark. Or if he plays to Fatigue. Yeah, let's go 61. Okay, I think, as crazy as it is, it might be worth it to just block here, set us up for a cog, and block here, set us up for a cog. I know it's a pretty aggressive first turn block, but I think having a Loan Shark here gives us a lot of pressure. We are gonna crank. Can kind of keep this back. Or do we want to threaten go again? We could threaten go again here, actually. Let's see how they block. I also need to get my dashboard brought up. Gotta test his strength. Okay, so he draws. Let's go +1. See what he does. Hoping there's no D-react here. Okay, so we have the on-hit trigger. We're gonna tap to give it go again with the on-hit. Then it'll untap both. And then now we're going to Jolly Bludger. We are going to tap for Overpower, and then we're going to see how he blocks. Hopefully, this just ends up stealing all his gold out from under him, because that would be very good for us. Okay. Is he actually going to give us this? We tie. Okay. I will gladly steal all your gold. Sure. We push him back a ton from him blocking that way. What's going on, Pockets? How are you doing today? Like, trying to get everything set up a little bit here. Our opponent's playing a little weird, but it's alright. I think he's kind of in the tank on me playing Jolly Bludger into him. Testing a new version of Gravy. How's it performing so far? I kind of like blocking. So let's see here. We have 4 gold. I kind of like blocking 3 here. And then just keeping a card back. We'll just send kind of blank CNC here. I think this is pretty fine. Only 3 games in, liking it more than the older iterations. Are you playing more aggressively? What's the big changes that you're trying out so far? Okay, I like a Quicken token. Sure. Because I know you were going into playing that deck with a couple things in mind, where you were wanting to play a lot of the like low cost cards in terms of like how you pay to like attack and stuff like that. Much more aggressive, no D-reacts, 3 reds, runs the HMS ships. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, we're gonna just lose 2, and then we'll go to Arsenalist. He's going to visit. I feel like this still looks like a pretty good turn. I'm totally okay with just taking a vanilla 6 here. I know he's cycling this gold main estate as much as he can. So I'm thinking, do we double crank here? This might be a turn where we go for poly. See what happens. Man, what a hand. Let's see how our opponent likes 0 for 4 into 0 for 4 into 0 for 4. Man, and he's giving us a Quicken. If I want a Gravy game, dude, I'd be down for a Gravy game. I think we want to put this on bottom, and we'll draw a card because he gave me free go again. Okay, not the greatest. He wins. Yo, Better with Bacon, thanks for the YouTube subscription. How are you doing today? Summer is here. A lot of people finished school just now. A local Puffin that you're gonna need practice against. See, I don't know if what I'm doing is like correct though. And I've got a hell of a draw right now. And this would be a lot better if it wasn't Blunderbuss. I'm kind of thinking I still want to go for the Dovetail on this turn. Even though it's not like crazy value, it's still 6 here. He's on boost, you're on ship. I am on the ship variation. Yeah, he can sink, that's fine. I don't need to go again. That's a pretty good hand. Hopefully our opponent just does nothing to us. That's the ideal, is our opponent just misses for some reason. But he has been just cycling gold main estates because I've been letting him hit with Cadaverous. He's hit me twice with it. Maybe a stumble turn if he's cracking gold. Next week is Stack with Fab and you're so excited. Yeah, honestly, valid. Very valid. 14. Man. I mean, there's no chance of a pummel here. I can't really do too much. I think we just say yeah. Okay, so importantly, this does not have go again. Spinal Crush says action cards, activated abilities, and attacks lose and can't gain go again. So I should be able to still poly and do this, because the crank is what gives me the action point, not go again. Yeah. And then we will Puffin, crank, draw. Okay, that's pretty decent. So we can double action point. Actually, do we just want to send this? No, we can't send that. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Do I want to cog in the machine? I don't think so. But I also don't really want to play this out, so we're just going to go here. We'll send 8. It doesn't have go again, but now he has to think about whether or not I have pummel or not. And hopefully he plays it incorrectly. Here's 12, the reverse order, left to right. So I would like him to discard a card first, yeah. What's up? Is your name... Okay, I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing your name, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna call you 10. Hey, what's up? Stumbled upon you, decided to join. I have a question. Interested in Fab, but my country doesn't have a community for it. Where can I start? Where can I play? Are there any familiar names in the global community that you should know about? Great questions. First thing for you here, what area are you from? Michael's fine? Okay. So Michael, what area of the world are you from? Because there's possibly actually there could be a community for you, and maybe you just haven't found it. If you are not familiar with the Flesh and Blood website, there is an event finder that's on the website. So if you go to fabtcg.com and then you scroll down to events, there's an events locator. I'm just going to flash it on screen real quick for you, or at least I'm going to try to. Give me a second here. So there's an events finder. It's fabtcg.com. It might be different if you're in a different language, but EN for English for me, and then events. And then you just go in here. You can try and find stuff that's in your area. Have you tried this already? If not, that would be first place to start. Trying to think. So he doesn't have, I mean, so he's at 6. I can double. No, literally nothing. Okay. So first spot would be checking there. That would be your best bet to finding a like community, or at least starting to find a community for yourself. Let's see here. We'll do this. So that's step number 1. If you are from a non-English speaking country, it's going to be a little difficult. Just check no events. Okay. Yeah. So Let's see here. I think we still keep this. We could go to 1. It is a pretty serious risk because he has 5 mites for this next turn. But we have guaranteed draw here. Yeah, city-state is super fine if you're in the U.S. If you're not in the U.S. and you're outside of the U.S., there are communities outside the U.S. that I'm like vaguely familiar with. I can maybe point you in a direction. We're gonna play this cog and draw a card. See what it gets us. Okay. I almost like drawing a card here. I'm trying to think how much resources that leaves me with. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. That doesn't get me anywhere, so we're just going to go here, pitch here. Oh, you know what? Hold on. That's actually a mistake. We'll see if he'll let me undo or not. I do want to tap here to make a cog. So I can't play this and play this, but I want a cog because I want to be able to do this and then still be able to push over a lot of damage here. Gather, cranking out the cog is probably fine there. Get one for next turn. Yeah, definitely possible. Trying to basically corner him as much as I can in this position, because we can pump it to 8, right? Then we pump it by another 4. So like right now, if I go boom, boom, pump it, then we still have this trigger on the stack and this trigger on the stack. We let this one resolve. So we lose and then we win. Yo, I'll get a pack for you right after this game. How's it going, Burst Flames? So we got a Quicken, and then we got this Resolution. This will only pump it by 3, but it still takes a card. So puts them to 1. Do I need the extra? Problematic. You're from Israel. Okay. Come from Magic, and that community is rather small, so don't expect to find anything Flesh and Blood related. Okay. I'm not entirely sure on Israel specifically. Your best bet with that is probably there is a global, like, there's a global spreadsheet that I can try and find for you. I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you after this game. And I might be able to find one for you. We're gonna go pummel here. Takes a card from their hand. We're still gonna be blocking, unfortunately, a lot on this next turn. But because this card is not the other gun, we're losing this match, which really sucks. Okay, we drew some good blocks, but not a 4 power block. James got his card, still waiting on mine. Dude, sometimes mail just be bad. Do you know Israel doesn't have events listed on the site? Best bets check potential discords, call local card shops. Yeah, there's a like actual community like spreadsheet that shows where you can like look for different communities. There might be one for Israel, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so we're looking at thunk for 11. So our turn, we do, okay. So hear me out on this, right? We're going to keep one cog. We still get to keep Poly. We play this, double cranking, draw a card, can potentially send E-Strike plus something. Yeah, the sheet is the one that I'm talking about on the actual the normal like Fab community Discord. But this game is really, really fun, and the community is like incredibly good just in general. Okay, we got a Quicken token as well. It's important to note. We are going to crank and crank. I'm going to pass on that. So we drew a cog. Okay. This is one of the worst things we could have drawn. So let's see. Do we redraw? See if we can get enough resources. You know what? If we float a resource... Okay, you gotta hear me out here. Float a resource, draw a card. Then, because I have the Quicken token, I could go 5 draw a card. Then, yeah. I think that's correct. Because then we still have enough to be able to shoot the blunderbuss after this. How many TOS has he played? This is the second one, I think. Yeah, this is the second. So far, neither of us are winning. And he doesn't... Oh, well, he has the shield. So he cracks the shield. Man, reveals Golden Sun. That's tough. Attack. And our best we can do is go to... Do links work? I think it should be set up to where you should be able to post links. If it does time you out, I can unban you. I'm pretty sure it's disabled in YouTube chat. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We're just screwed on this one. 10 overpower is very difficult for us to block. Like, even with this, we can get to 6 block here. But we're not going to get over the top here. Alright. Was a nice attempt. We're going to flip over his Golden Sun just to be a jerk. Yeah, so that one is basically just like a map of all the different Discord servers, and it's got a different Discord server for like different locations. 0 and 1 for us. Entire area is barren. I mean, you never know. You could be the first person that wants to start a community in your local area, and if you are one of those people that wants to start a local community, it's definitely possible. You should, yeah, I was going to say, you should join the Purple Discord. That's another main part of joining in. That place is basically your best spot for resources when it comes to, like, building decks and different communities for if you want to play, let's say, like Blitz, or if you want to play Classic Constructed, which is what we were playing right now. We also have... there's occasionally like smaller Discords that have more focus on like a specific community. So like if you play Assassin, let's say, I know there's like smaller groups for like specifically Assassin mains, or like if you really like to play Levia, there's like a smaller community for that as well. I think if you want to start stuff, your best bet is to send your local game store information from the actual retailer quick start page. I'll pull that up on screen as well. So if you want, I'll link it in the chat as well. So if you want your local community to potentially be represented, you can have your LGS sign up, and they can go here. They can find out how to get product in stock. You can find out like how to sign up for like tournament structures and that kind of stuff. They should be able to sign up, and I believe they should be able to get the welcome decks sent to them. I think Ira decks are still available. We got a kitty cat hitting the window over here. But you should be able to hopefully have your LGS kind of go through these links and try to get everything set up through this link here. The purple Discord thing, to answer your question, Gene, is the symbol for the Discord is Viscerai, and Viscerai is iconically very purple. And so people just call it Purple Discord because the image is a very purple picture of Viscerai. You're part of the Levi group and don't play her. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit for everybody. Like you can have fun and like not be in the communities as well, or like not be as much of a participant. I'm assuming you want this. The cat wants it too. She's so excited. You see her looking? She wants the pack. You want the pack? You want to help? Bless the pack. All right. Let's get one pack in. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully get a nice focus here. Get it to stop focusing in the background and try and focus it in on the card. I always have trouble with it. Pack one, pick one. I do remember. Give me a second, because I think... This is not a giveaway. So what we do here is we actually have a little setup where if you are on Twitch, you can go in and you can request that I open up a pack on stream. And then I just open it up on stream. Just a little fun little time to open up stuff and get to see what I open. I can't get my camera software to fix, so we're just going with this. So we got a Goldwing Turbine, a Shelly, try and get it to focus here. Calling the big guns blue, Cloud Skiff yellow, Angry Bones red, On the Horizon red, Swindler's Grift, Nimblism red, Nimby blue, a Golden Tipple red, Bandana the Blue Beyond, Cloud City Steamboat is our first rare, and a Sinker is our second rare. Our foil is Mutiny on the Nimbus, and nothing fancy on the back. So, our pack one, pick one, if I'm being completely honest, super easy choice for me. Golden Tipple. Keeps you super open, and is just like one of the best cards for every pirate deck in draft. So unfortunately not a great pack, but I mean it's something. You think On the Horizon? I could see like, so for me this card is like, it's one of those ones where I feel like if I'm intending to play defensively, I could definitely see myself grabbing this at like red or at yellow. But I don't think I would high prioritize it over Red Tipple. I think Red Tipple is really, really good. Let's see. Michael, don't expect stores to have anything. Might start up the community. Search if anything exists somewhere. Yeah, I have no idea about Israel specifically. your best bet, again, is to like go through, see if there's a community on that maps, and if there isn't one, then try and kind of reach out. You can also, on that purple Discord that Pockets linked earlier, if you go to there's a section that says local game stores. If you go in there and you just type in there and be like, hey, I'm looking for an LGS in this area, are there people that play here? Sometimes there'll be people that'll be able to respond and kind of like push you over to like a specific place. You do like On the Horizon for the overpower protection. Yeah, it makes sense. It's not too bad. 3 go again is good for draft. Also like it better than On the Horizon. It does threaten Treasure Island, yeah. I didn't even think about Treasure Island. Yeah. Pack prices, rarities, and pull rates. How expensive is the competitive and or casual scene? So the casual scene is growing like crazy right now. There's this new format that I can actually show you really quick. That is called Project Blue, and it is probably the best entry point for new players. I'm just gonna pull up. Let's pull up Enigma. So Project Blue is really cool format. It is commons and rares only. So you said you came from Magic, right? So think of commons and rares as like commons and like uncommons kind of. We have things called majestics in the game. Majestic is like your higher level, so your bottom level is common. You've got rares here, then you've got majestics, so that would be the equivalent of a rare, right? A rare in Magic, but majestics are way less common than an actual rare in Magic. And then you have legendary at the top end, with Fabled at the very, very top, but that gets confusing. Fabled, just pretend Fabled doesn't exist for this description. So you have legendary at the very top, majestic, rare, and then common. So common, very easily accessible, typically incredibly cheap. I think the only commons that are really expensive are some of the older commons that are more widely played, like Sink Below, called... Oh, you're talking about the format that I'm talking about. Yeah, it's very similar to Pauper in Magic. So a good example, well, not for Project Blue, because Sink Below is banned in Project Blue. So this is essentially Pauper, or it's like, what do they call it? I think it's called Peasant, actually, in Magic, where this is commons and the equivalent of uncommons in a Magic sense, right? Ported into Flesh and Blood. So everything is common and rarity, or below. It has its own ban list, and it is, in my opinion, the best way to play like young hero formats. Most of the decks are not very expensive. Like this deck, it's off the side of the screen here. This deck costs $10. $10 USD. So my total cost is actually $2 here. The only reason why it says $10 is because it's an estimated shipped price. So this deck, in total, that's with every cheapest option, is $2, 2 USD. And the most expensive version is going to be crazy because there's a lot of fancy cards in this deck. Or that can be fancy, but you don't need fancy cards to start playing. You can literally build a deck for $2 US for Project Blue. And this is like one of probably the best decks in Project Blue is Enigma, Refractor Enigma. Yeah, it's really, really inexpensive to get into. Yeah, we do what Pockets just said. So Commoner is the equivalent of Pauper, where it's literally just commons. They're slowly trying out this new format called Project Blue, the one that we're looking at right now. It is kind of what we think as a community is kind of a way of them transitioning away from Commoner into a format that just kind of feels a little bit better, and that they have a little bit more agency to change in and out certain cards. to like up power level or take down power level of different heroes. But you have so many different heroes that you have access to. Enigma being the best. What about your girl? Dude, there's so many heroes. Okay, so another thing, if you're not super familiar with this game, the amount of heroes can be incredibly overwhelming. And I do realize that. What you should really focus on is, what do you enjoy, at least from like a, let's say you're going into a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, right? What character, what class would you want to play as? I think that's probably one of the best like starting points to finding a hero for yourself. So a hero is who you play as. So you pick a hero and you are that hero. Think of it like a commander. It's the best way that I can describe it in Magic terms. But I would say, imagine you're in like a D&D campaign. What class would you play in a D&D campaign? I think that would probably help us figure out what you might enjoy trying out. Or if you have an archetype that you really like to play in Magic, we can help try and like push you in a direction that's maybe focused from Magic. Because I know we have a lot of former Magic players in here. Is it characters, or do you build mechanic based? So you have your own individual character, right? Your hero that you play as, but each hero has different mechanics that they're based around. So an example would be like Mechanologist has a mechanic where they the equivalent would be if they took a card off the top and they put it in exile from Magic, right? And that allows them to play multiple cards in one turn. Where like a ninja, for example, would be playing a lot of low, like kind of quick and fast attacks, and they would be trying to hit you with a bunch of things and go really, really wide, but they're not banishing off the top or anything like that. Yeah, Kano's like Storm, if you're familiar with that from Magic. I am going to jump into another game for us really quick while we continue to chit-chat, though. Don't worry, I'm going to remember. I'm starting a prediction right when somebody jumps into this lobby. I'm going to jump. I'll start one. I promise. All right, Prism. I would like to go first. This is a matchup that I have practiced. What's really gross is this card's very good. This card's a little bit worse than the Jolly Bludgers I really like in this matchup as well. I don't like as many of the Sunken Treasures, although they are active pretty often. Loan Shark is a little rough. Keeping a bigger hand is rougher for Conqueror, but it is a popper, so maybe we go down a cog. Let you get you 0 points. We're gonna try this. All right. So we can play this Crank. Something easy to play for starting players. Say budget of 50 US, and don't know enough about the mechanics to say what you like. So what do you play in Magic? Like what's your go-to play style from Magic if you're a Magic player? Control / aggro. So are you like a mid-range player then? Blue-white colors. Okay, so very control. I think I want to draw a card here. It's kind of bold, I know. Okay, that's not a bad one. Jarl Armory deck is a good starter. That is probably a pretty good starter deck for somebody who wants to play more control. So Jarl is a Ice Earth hero. He's a guardian. Plays a lot of like taller attacks, which basically means like you're going to be sending higher number rather than wider numbers. So like if I went 3 3 3 3 3, Jarl is instead just sending 12 on one attack. See, Florian's good, but Florian doesn't have a good entry point, and that's my biggest gripe with Florian. But Jarl is probably one of the better spots to come in on. He has a actual, like, decent, viable option. I like bottoming Pummel here, because we don't really have a good way of playing it. And blocking Sunken Treasure, but I really want to be able to play this. Maybe we block here and see what their follow-up is. Still bottom the Pummel. Mostly play casual commander, consider a mini-boss to the new players that try to play low monster count with higher numbers, while also spell singing. Okay. We are going to bottom this. Yeah, he has a lot of LL points. I think we're pretty good with just keeping this. We have Palantir here. We can eat one, which it's probably going to end up being Halo. Man, I wish I could just block. I could block. Actually, you know what? I am going to block this out. Yeah, so if you like playing more spell slingy, I think Jarl might be actually a pretty solid choice. So Jarl is a guardian. Guardians in this game are essentially just like big, strong. Think of them like tanks in a way. So think of them as though they. I don't even know how to describe it other than they do not a whole lot of like small damage. They're very much like, I'm going to take a lot of damage and I have a lot of armor that I can prevent damage with and that kind of stuff. Sorry for an off-topic questions. Brand new to Flesh and Blood today. You bought a Syndra Precon Blitz deck. Going to play the Blitz Precon format. Is she good? I like her aesthetics. So, for the Blitz Precon deck, are you talking about... I'm just trying to think here. He gave us... yeah, no Phantasm. Man, I wish I'd a better block here. They're gonna push through, so I say just take it. So Blitz Precon, I don't know if her Blitz pre-constructed deck is actually good. Are you talking about the one that comes from... Did they have Blitz pre-constructed decks for Syndra? Hunted Blitz deck Syndra. They did. I'm taking a look at it right now. It actually doesn't look too bad. The only thing with Blitz pre-constructed is that you lose out on a lot going into some of the decks that have like arcane damage. You'll end up taking a lot of extra from that. But I would say overall, yeah, the collection. I think overall she's not a bad choice. I think right now Syndra, from like a grand scheme of things, is a very good deck. How much is pricey? Average TCG pricey or MTG pricey? I would say on average, if you're going for like a CC, like a very competitive CC deck, you're going to be looking at probably like modern level of expense. Like it's pretty expensive, I would say. Yeah, high armor, big single attacks is what Pipu said for a Jarl explanation. Esgonza 520, thank you for the YouTube subscription. I appreciate that. Stores sold them separately. Dude, that's actually pretty nice. I haven't come across too many stores that do like the separate sales like that. That's actually really, really nice. We're gonna play... Do we want to leave Sky Skimmer? I kind of like keeping Zeppelin as my next option. CC can be price of modern based on what you choose. Yeah, that's also true. So it really depends on like what class you're playing. Some classes are infinitely more popular than others. Some aren't. So like a good example is like Mechanologist tends to not be incredibly loved by the community. But some cards still tend to be a little bit expensive. It's very hard to price out everything though. I think I want to check and see what they want to do here. Assassin is the most popular. Yeah, that is true. She's good. Deck and constructed too, whether it be Blitz or Classic constructed. Yes, Syndra is very, very good. If you're looking to like specifically try and play, like if you're like I'm the Syndra main for life, then that's a good spot to be in. Okay, he did hold the Soul Shield. That's a little tough for us, but we can... Do we want to still plus here? I think we do. I think I'm going to roll for it. Oh no, he has the Spectral Shield. I'm stupid. Yeah. Good news is most of your costs and cards can go lateral. Yeah, so if you pick like a specific class, you can take that class and play it in like other ways as well. So like if you're like, oh, I really want to play Guardian, then you could just keep playing Guardian, and just transition your Guardian cards over to another Guardian hero. How often does the meta shift? 6 times a year, 2 times a year. I would say typically the meta shifts around major events. So each Pro Tour, which is 2 times a year, World Championships, which is another part of the year, and Nationals, another part of the year. So probably about 4 times a year. I would say the meta shifts like pretty drastically. There's also like set releases that are going to change how the meta changes. But also, if you have heroes that are leaving the game, then that also shifts the meta sometimes. And so like right now, we just lost a hero just this last week. And the way that works is when a person wins with a hero, they get points on that hero, and then once they reach a point threshold, once they get above that point threshold, then they get banned. Essentially, think of it like a standard rotation in a way, but eventually they plan to bring that hero back in some sense. And then there's a format that you can play that has access to all of the heroes if you want to do that as well. Personally saw most of the people in Parthemisville, so I think I'll end up on one of those eventually. So the issue with Parthemisville is the last hero from Parthemisville just got banned in Classic Constructed. So if you want to play them in Classic Constructed, they are not legal. That's just a fair warning for you. In Blitz, I'm not sure if that is the case or not. I know, is Zen already banned? Zen is unbanned. I thought that he still speedran it again. I gotta go to the Living Legend section here. So this turn's looking pretty solid. Not gonna lie. Are all formats 1v1? Primarily, yes. There is a format called UPF that is like the unofficial like commander format, commander-esque format, but it is not as widely supported as people really would like it to be. There are easy budget options. Yeah, that is very true as well. Yeah, Kyoma, what formats are you interested in playing? I see you typing over on YouTube. We're gonna Zeppelin. Let's see how they block. Ban system here is really tough to explain. Yeah, it is a little tough. No. Yeah, the ban system is complicated. I will admit. I can try my best to explain it to you, but it's definitely something that I would recommend watching like a more detailed video on. Literally found out about the game 2 weeks ago. Your store hosts a first event tomorrow. Plan is mostly Blitz Precon until people get the hang of it. Blitz Precon is definitely a good spot to start. If you want to break out of Blitz Precon, we were talking about it just a little bit ago, but a very, very good option for you to do is Project Blue. If you have not heard about it, Project Blue is like it's a Blitz format, or like the young hero format that is definitely becoming significantly more popular right now. Wouldn't mind whatever the most popular format. CC is the most popular format by a long shot. Doesn't even come close. Ban list, I would say they're pretty good about the ban list in this game, I would say. I don't think there's too many issues that they have with like how they handle it. I think overall bans are handled pretty well. There's nothing that, like, at least within recent time, has been like, this is just like outrageously egregious and just like has to get banned. It's usually pretty reasonable. Think of bans as a new format. As a hero accumulated 1,000 points, then they removed. Yeah, exactly. So I'm tempted to keep the Barracuda and just try and pop here. For casual, it should be fine. Yeah, you're totally good. Yeah, we definitely, I mean, we ban stuff, but we are not so desperate to ban everything that we're like trigger happy, right? We're definitely not trigger happy when it comes to that kind of thing. Does anybody have the link to Project Blue info? Have they put up a actual, like, thing on Fabry or anything yet for it? So, if someone likes Enigma Zen New, how soon can you hope to get a similar replacement if you want to play them in CC? So, you're going to run into a little bit of an issue there because a lot of them just left. Like, literally just left. So, what's complicated is they usually have a turnaround time that they rough estimate to about a year to 2 years. There are other heroes that are similar to Enigma, Zen, and New that you can try out, though. So, like, Enigma is an illusionist, and I'm actually playing against an illusionist right now. They don't exactly do the same things, but you might be able to find similar playstyles within the same class. So, like, Zen, as an example, plays a lot of tigers, and played out these really long chains that are really difficult to block as a ninja. And you can do that same thing playing ninja, but just doing it with a different ninja. And then I know New just left, but New also has different options that you can go into to try and play as well. Not biased. There's a video Ethan did on it. Okay, sweet. I kind of just want to kill the Soraya here and send Sky Skimmer. So Kyoma, unfortunately, like an exact replacement is probably a decent bit away. But if you like the way that the classes look, then you can play, you do have other options to play those classes still as an option. It does hurt to lose a hero, but that's just a part of the game, right? Thank you, Pockets. Yeah, so Project Blue has a little bit of a different ban list, but the cost for entry is very, very low. So, Kyoma, you're over on YouTube. There's links that are being posted in Twitch. If you can't get these links, if you can't go over to Twitch for some reason, let me know, and I'll just copy paste them over. Or actually, here, while our opponent is making a decision, I will copy paste them over for you. I know there's a little bit of a delay on YouTube, so. Also, I know we got very far away from the discussion. Yeah, I think, yeah, the pack costs. So the pack costs are actually set at, like, different levels, right? So you have, like, an MSRP level for, like, a box, and trying to figure out, you know, how expensive those different pieces can be. Give me a second here. Yeah, we're just gonna bludger. Just go to Twitch, just happen to see you here first. Okay, cool. Yeah, I dropped the links for you there just in case you're still looking for them. But that's all the links to Project Blue and all the information for that. It's a very, very good entry-level format that is a little bit away from the the format that you were just talking about, the Blitz pre-constructed, has a little bit better of a feel to it, I would say. I would love to block this out here, but I think we lose our turn if we do. And we're on a pretty big life lead. So pack costs are set at MSRP, but I would say on average your pack price, at least where I'm from, is between $4 to $6. It depends on the set, though. Sometimes sets sell a little bit better than others. They demand a little bit of a higher price, but I would say between 4 and 6 USD. Most of the time, when you're seeing players that are like more competitive players, a lot of players will end up buying like full boxes. So like I've got a box sitting here, or like you'll see players that'll buy cases and they'll just crack open a bunch of stuff so that they're able to get all the product they need to be able to play at like a high level. Is MST the only illegal set? No, Tales of Aria is the other one that has none of the heroes are legal. We're gonna double crank on this cog of the machine, I think. And Everfest. Oh yeah, I guess Icelander. Yeah, I didn't think about that. We'll double crank. We do not want to put it under. Okay. I think this is still pretty good. We can go Palantir and eat their chest piece, and we've still got an action point left to throw a 6 after this. That was a very good cost to buy chance, because the game is player-driven market. Yeah, absolutely. So like a good example is like the pack that I opened earlier, right? That I opened earlier on stream. All these cards are like not crazy in price at all. They are very, very like inexpensive. I don't think I pulled a single card that is worth over $1 in this whole pack, which is unfortunate for somebody who's just buying an individual pack, right? But because I have a whole box sitting here, that changes things, right? It's a little bit different. How is he getting around? Oh, because he can't block with that card. He actually cannot block with that card. I mean, I still want to leak 3 damage here. Boxes are the way to go. Yeah, typically I would say boxes are like if you want to buy a case is like the best choice. If you really want like a set of stuff. So usually what I'll do is like if I'm going into like a new set, for example, so I'm playing a character that's from the new set right now, or a hero from the new set, and this hero, they are a pirate hero, and so because I don't have any of the pirate cards, I wanted to make sure that I had enough stuff to be able to play the pirate hero. So I bought a whole case, and that made it very, convenient for me to be able to do it. If you play only one, you'll buy singles. Yep. So like if you we lost a cog, right? I'm pretty sure we lost a cog. Yeah. But I would definitely say if you want to get into the game and you can afford to just buy singles, buy singles. Just buy singles. It's like the easiest way to play. We're going to put this in our arsenal, by the way, because Overpower is broken. And if we get a cog somehow, then that just becomes incredibly difficult to block. Gravy game after? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would probably prefer no voice, just so that I can, like, chit-chat and try and figure out things in real time, because I like to talk through my plays a lot. And I think Gravy is a deck that I need more practice into. So I'm definitely down to play a game. Make sure you wreck me, dude. It's the right way to go about it. So our turn is pretty rough here. We could block 6 and then still send Jolly Bludger. Oh. Never mind. Opponent just decided to finish the game. So we sitting at 1-1. Let me get that prediction outcome. I'm sorry. Whoever predicted my loss. I say whoever. I know it was Burst Flames. I know it was Burst Flames. Since Gravy and Cinder are catching up in the meta, picking up Slippy isn't the worst idea. So my biggest hesitance with Slippy, Mitch, is there's this other hero right here that the moment you pick up Slippy, they start eating good. They're going to start eating real good. You know what other deck also really likes you playing Slippy? Is this deck down here. This deck really likes you playing Slippy. Against Prism, 100% will vote no every time. Yeah, that's fair. Just gotta gamba and see if I'll win or not. Thank you guys for being here, by the way. I noticed there's a ton of people in here. There's a ton of chatting going on. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm not going to ask you to do anything besides, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button or hit subscribe if you're interested in more content. I stream on Fridays. I do stream on other days, but Friday is kind of like my main day when I come in. I'm hanging out. I'm chit-chatting with everybody. Then on Twitch, if you're on Twitch and you're not following, hit the follow button. Really appreciate it. Don't have any sort of goals or anything like that. Just want to build up a community, have fun, and talk about a game that I really love. Have I seen any Azuri lists since Amsterdam? No, I have not. But that doesn't mean that she can't pick up now that New's gone. Pockets. I'm on streamer mode, but I'll set up a match and I'll send you a DM right now. Not single player. What was the name of the hero you said would be good? What are some annoying heroes to play against? So annoying, I would say, is very... it's going to be more subjective. I'm going to go first. So the biggest thing for this matchup is these guys down here. So into Gravy, we don't like the Pummels and we don't like the Yellow Zeppelins. We're just bringing in these guys. So Jarl is the hero. Give me a second to message Pockets really fast. So, Jarl is the hero that I was talking about for you. So Jarl is an Ice Earth Guardian. He has what's called an Armory deck, and you should be able to find that on the official Flesh and Blood website. Jarl. I will link it in Twitch chat for you right now. But basically, he's got this cool pre-constructed deck. Looks like this. I know my computer's hella zoomed in. Looks like this. Basically, you go in, pop open the box, and it's pre-constructed deck for Classic Constructed. is it Voltron? So we don't have Voltron in this game. We kind of do. We kind of Teklevosen's kind of Voltron, but Voltron as a playstyle doesn't really exist in the game. So the way it works, and I can talk you through while we're playing this game against pockets here, is you have your hero, a weapon, you have your armor that's over here on the left side, you have your deck right here that's on the right side, and then you, while you're playing the game, are going to draw up to your intellect, which is on your hero. So you can see on here, my character has 4 intellect. It's going to be on the leftmost side of the card. So I'm going to draw 4 cards at the end of my turn, every turn. So let me try and play out this turn really fast. So each hero has different like abilities that are on their hero. So Jarl has his own ability, Puffin has her own ability. Puffin's ability is to make a cog, so we're actually going to go ahead and do that really quick here. And these cogs gain different benefits for the rest of the cards in my deck. We really want to try and push damage on this first turn against Gravy, because typically they don't have that great of blocks. What is Voltron? So Voltron is, are you asking the magic term Voltron, or are you asking what Voltron itself actually is? Because Voltron in Magic is when you put a bunch of stuff onto one permanent and then try and win just through that one thing. But if you're asking what Voltron actually is, Voltron is this giant mech from... It's kind of like a Power Rangers-esque thing. I don't know how else to describe it. He's like this mechanoid where all 5 pieces kind of mesh together and make one big giant robot. If you're asking for the literal side of what Voltron is. But I feel like that also kind of describes what Voltron is pretty good. Basically a bunch of pieces all come together to make one big powerful thing. This is destroy, discard a card. This is 5. Okay, so we want this, we want this. Yeah. You gotta unfollow for not knowing who Faker is? What do you mean? You gotta unfollow me for not knowing who Faker is? I know who Faker is. I play League. Aggro. Aggro got an unfollow. Okay, I just misread it. That's what it was. Okay. Yo, you're gonna give me a gold? And then, oh... I got there first. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do the thingy. I hate that this is a respondable trigger. Yeah, so Voltron, like, doesn't exactly exist in Flesh and Blood. I would think -IE is probably pretty close to Voltron as well, if you're looking for a deck that's like that. But that's even kind of stretching it. -IE is a mechanologist. The way she works is she likes to put items into play. She actually starts with an item in play. You can play items in your deck, it's just that items don't block. And what she does is she builds up a board state of items. And then once she's built up her board state of items, then she will throw like huge attacks off of her pistol to do damage. I think we just double crank. I don't know that pockets can block super well here. We are not going to put one under. I think we just want to clear this. When this hits a hero, untap all cogs. So I want to go. This is a toss-up. Is Voltron Exodia? Very similar, yes. I mean, like, kind of yes and no. Voltron is much more put everything into one basket. Exodia is more if I draw the nuts. I'm kind of thinking, because we have 2 action points, that we want to crank here. Yeah. And then we're going to send the first dovetail here. And we're going to go +1 and go again. Then we want this one. And this one doesn't need to have go again. Teklo's the closest then? Yeah, Teklo is probably the closest thing to Voltron. Or Dash IE. Dash IE and Teklovossen are probably the closest thing that we have to I almost said Exodia, to Voltron. Do you want to react? Cool. Teklo basically Voltron from what we've been saying. Yeah. Man, I don't really want to unicycle here. I think that's pretty fine. Because we still have 1 action point here. And so, if our action point is spent on E-Strike for 7, I still feel like we're coming out ahead pretty heavily. Did we bring in blocks? We did bring in blocks. We have 2 in the deck. I think we're just going to go buff power. I never played Legends of Runeterra. I have no clue what you guys are talking about. Okay. Got a nice little block out. Pretty solid hand here. Oh. Sorry. Pockets is saying he's bricking super hard, which I don't disagree. He's definitely having a tough time here. LOR was the best card game you've played? Really? I'm not trying to say that in like an offensive way, but like that's kind of crazy to me. Yeah, they are coming out with their own like actual physical trading card game soon. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. Aaron messaged me about it like a couple days ago. Riftbound. That's the name of it. Riftbound. I know, okay. I do understand Riftbound is not Legends of Runeterra, but it's kind of close, right? It's got something going for it. Do we double crank to keep our? Yeah, we're gonna keep our turn going like crazy here. Give me an Arsenal card, or give me something to throw a Spitfire at you. Ooh, I like keeping this. It's a good arsenal. Yeah, because it actually makes money. Dude, that's... I mean, I understand why they were like, yeah, we can't, like, keep this game going because it's just... we gave out too much free stuff. I think it's hard to have an online TCG and, like, have it really do what you want it to right now. I feel like online TCGs are kind of in a weird space. That's why they made LOR PvE. I mean, it's vaguely PvE, right? It's PvE in the same sense that, like, Altered is PvE, but you're still fighting. LOR wasn't promoted enough. That seems fair. That seems fair to say. Getting out of Chum. Well, he's not going to have an arsenal. Do we care about this? I really would like to get rid of this, but I don't think I have an opportunity to. He does have 2 gold, which look very tempting. She's going to jump on a phone call. I'm going to mute myself for just a second here. Alright, we're back. Alright, so I didn't really have too much to be able to do into his chum there. Kind of got into an awkward spot. Is Barracuda the tech into Gravy? Dude, yeah, Barracuda is the tech. You see that? It says 6 if you don't block, I kill your Whaler. So good luck attacking with Whaler if you're trying to block this card. I have Ophidia. Sawbones is a little annoying. I don't know that we have too much in the way of being able to do, like, go again into killing Sawbones here. But I definitely feel like we'd need to clear Sawbones. Blood in the Water is a card, though. Blood in the Water is a card. So they're just on hit, make a gold. I think that's okay. They already made a gold this turn anyways, so... Kind of in a little bit of an awkward spot here with this hand. I'm still thinking I can convert it well. This is on hit hero. I just wish I had any gold gen. I could just overpitch into, like, CNC. Or overpitch into Barracuda. And, like, try and hold CNC. Because this still forces blocks. I just wish I had a way of, like, converting this hand a little bit more effectively. Especially because he has Gold Kiss on this next turn. And we don't have 2 blues. So I think... I think we're doing the awkward pitch. You brought the boat tech. Yes, this was the tech that I took from Brett in chat that he has yet to see. We just threatened life total and killed an ally. This is a blowout, a potential blowout here. Let's see, we're on just the Whaler. They kept a big hand here, so if we can snipe Whaler with this, that's like crazy, crazy good. But yes, that boat tech is from you. It truly is. Gold-baited hook. What are we discarding? A Sawbones? Okay. Do we think that we take his turn away if we Sunken Treasure here? Didn't get matched up Saturday? Yeah. I definitely think we Sunken Treasure here. We are... We're definitely inclined to kill Sawbones here, I think. Because he floated too. I think we just have to do it that way. If we force him into playing Whaler here, that's like fine, because he's not going to be able to attack with it. Okay. So he goes Call to the Grave. Grabs another Sawbones. Loot the hold. This is discard. Okay. Come on. So if we block 6 here, we still have a turn where we can Puffin and clear the Sawbones. So this is why we have Sky Skimmer. It is literally just for this. You tech, dude. Dawnblade is pretty good. How's Dory Inadvertence? I would think probably bad. What are you discarding? Ooh. Is this another we just shut down his turn? We just had like the best time sunken treasures ever. I mean, this is why you play Sunken Treasure, is for this matchup. Pockets just says, stop. Yeah, I feel like into Warrior, you're in a pretty tough spot as, or into Wizard, you're in a tough spot as a Warrior. And even if he, like, tries to just play Whaler here, Sunken seems outright yeah, it is very disrespectful. So I'm only playing 2 right now, but I could see myself playing 3, if Gravy is, like, popular enough. Okay, we're swelling. I kind of want to keep my unicycle. Or are we using it on this next turn cycle? No. Okay, so we're probably playing like, ooh. Destroy an item. Okay. Let me think here. I mean, the correct choice is to destroy my gold, right? And then my turn is E-Strike for 5 CNC. Yeah, that's fine. Because he hasn't seen any of his Blood on the Waters. So, just putting this out, saying go again. I think this is really good here. Blue 3 block that sometimes makes a gold and is a giant middle finger to one of the most popular decks right now. Seems like yeah. I mean, if you're playing Pirate, you definitely should be playing Sunken Treasure. Or if you're not playing Sunken Treasure, you should be playing what's the other Sunken Treasure adjacent card? It's Seafloor Salvage. It's a rare. Got 2. 1 is foiled 2. Yeah, I just picked up. I got 3 from Pockets actually, who we're currently demolishing a little, kind of hard in this matchup here. Did I? You know what? Burst Flames. What am I gonna say? What did I just realize in this moment? I know you know what I'm thinking. What I just realized. Man, this music is chill. Leaking a little bit of damage. Whew. I did. I forgot the prediction. I'm ashamed. I did, in fact, forget the prediction. Alright, so we are definitely just ignoring Swabby here. He exists. Oh, come on. Actually, we have 2 action points. We can, we still get... Ooh, do we gamble? I like gambling. You're really bad at this prediction thing? Dude, yeah, I kind of am. We gamba. Let's go. So what's cool about this is not only does this have overpower, but Spitfire can still swing for 3 after this. Also, this just clears the Swappy. Swappy's just there. He's just doing his thing. He is hanging out. See, the thing with predictions is I just have to get in the mind for it. And I just always forget. There's just something about it, man. I just always forget. Oh, he's going to have to use quick dodge on this turn to stay alive. This is one thing that I do like about playing into Gravy versus playing into other illusionists. I really feel like they have to take a back foot to playing into me. Like, it is very difficult for them to overcome all the damage that I'm putting out. And, like, we still leak 1 here. So that 1 kills Swabby, which is so incredibly powerful. Palantir is better here. I mean, yes and no. It's 9. It's not overpower. It would still be 9 into 3. And I eat his equipment here. He has a non-turn coming up. You gotta give you every card, then with Spitfire, Palantir, destroy, available for kill. Oh, I see what you mean, because I can destroy a card. I got you. I still think we are so incredibly far ahead that it probably doesn't matter too much. But you're not wrong. So we just want to go put this on bottom, do go again. I mean, this takes everything from his hand, and then if I... How are you getting E-Strike for 8? Palantir. Oh, you know what? I just realized I'm. Yeah, this should be game. I just told that to. I just told that to Pockets. Hold on. I always forget that it does this, then Arsenal. Yeah, that's just a mistake on my part, and like now he has an actual turn. At least potentially a turn. Yeah, so I just missed lethal. Yeah. Which, like, that's definitely my mistake, but I think we're fine. Okay. I will preface this with, I know he's going to Anka. Okay. We're just going to discard CNC. We're not going to discard CNC. We're going to discard the Dorktide. Then we'll come in here at him. Yeah. Missing lethal sucks, but that's a learning curve for me. Yeah. It's like technically missed lethal twice. He drew a no block. Yep. I didn't realize we were already at I. Oh no, he shuffled his deck. That's what it was. I'm down for a rematch. Alright. Whoa, glitching out like crazy there. Okay. Starting a prediction. Here we go. We are 2-1. Let me just change that really fast. Get good. Need to play 100% every time. I mean, that's what I try. See, I try, but it's hard. No. Give me something I can pitch into. Damn it. Really not the turn cycle I wanted to have for the first turn, but if we leak damage here, that is a win. I'll never play 100%. I mean, I feel like a decent amount of the time I can play 100%. You would pass. I mean, I'm just hand filtering for them, right? But I also need to hand filter a little bit. What did they discard? Oh, an HMS. So they just like... They just ain't on allies this turn. We could just give them... Give them this. had 4 go against it too. No one plays perfect, everyone can find a mistake. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of turns probably that I'm playing here that are just going to be not great. But that's just the nature of it, right? Okay, how many cogs we got? We're going to go into next turn with 1. So if I block here and here, it puts me up to 2 cogs. I'm going to lose a cog, but I can give this +1. Thinking. Because I really want... Actually, I could just Gold Kiss from this. And then give it +1. That I can play this, pitch this, put this into Arsenal. Or play this, pitch this, put this in... It's like, having this in my hand right now is what's tough. Am I converting well if I do this? There's no on hit. If I have 1 cog on the next turn, yeah, I think I need another cog. It sucks that Marlin isn't a real hero, dude. You are complaining to the right people here, because I feel the exact same way. I think Marlin not being very good is incredibly upsetting. Everything's cheap for her. I mean, yeah, like if you want to get her cards right now, she is very inexpensive. Which that side of it is very nice. Man, that sucks. We'll float a cog into next turn, and then we'll call it good. History repeats itself with Overpower not being great. I feel like Overpower's decent. It's decent at best. Gotta draw a discard. Chump's pretty annoying. We do have E-Strike here. That's a pretty good card, but it's not really threatening much. I like this as just kind of a setup turn. I'm totally okay with them just taking a blue soup up from us. I think what we do is we Loan Shark here. Oh, another phone call. I'll mute for a sec. Alright, we're back. I'm kind of thinking just clearing Whaler and setting this up is probably pretty good. I could also try and force out, like, I kind of want to go a little aggressive here. Let's crank. Let's double crank. Let's see what we get. Okay. That makes this decision a lot easier. So, I don't want to have to take 4 damage eventually, because that's going to be very difficult. So maybe we just pitch one of these. Do we want to draw, like a redraw? Maybe a redraw here doesn't feel too bad. Let's see. That's a pretty good one, but it's not really that playable right now. I like probably setting this one up, though. So what I'm thinking is we go float, send this at gravy. And then he's probably going to block, which is fine. We want him to block with cards here. And then our follow-up is going to be 7 into the Whaler. I'm trying to make pockets think a little bit here. Sorry, I was muted when you first came in here, Dwarf. How's your Friday going? Do you basically all the Mech Majestics from C? I only run Jolly Bludger. I am not running the I'm not running the what's the one? The one that galvanizes and makes gold for you? Not running that one. There are lists that are running it, but I've found that Pirate Puffin... Oh, shit. I click through things too fast. Now he knows that I have that, and it's gonna go to Arsenal. I hate the Loan Shark trigger. It should be like a gigantic pop-up that just says, this is your Loan Shark trigger. If you want to buy into Puffin, just as a heads up for you, Brett, I have some extra cards that I took out of my list because I got foils. So if you're looking for anything, please let me know, and I can try and trade some stuff over to you. So right now, just for context, I am playing stuff that's majestic from this set. Cog in the Machine, Cogworks Dovetail, Conquerors, Palantirs, Loan Shark, Cogworks Workshop, Sunken Treasure, Tip, Jolly Bludger. Those are all M's. Not all of them are just mech, though. Workshop, Cog, Dovetail, and Palantir are all 3-0s. Friday's alright, finally get to relax. Had a decent go with Levia Monday night. How'd you perform with Levia? Pretty solid, or kinda... I really like this. We have a super good turn for Barracuda. We're just taking 6 here. I know he's been leaking a lot of damage here, but I think we are in such a good spot. I like playing this, pitching this. And we double crank. We're not going to put it on bottom. Man, this turn just got crazy. Are you kidding me? I just messaged Pockets and I'm just like, you're gonna love this. He's just like, no. I think you have the non-mech stuff, so you'll inquire about what I have later. Puffin seems as fun as much as I wouldn't typically say that about mech. I think she's very good and very fun to play. I think that there are certain aspects to her that make her feel like play style wise incredibly unique. We're full taking tempo on this turn, by the way. 2-1, round 1 lost to Katsu, got unlucky with setup. Okay. Katsu I feel like is a lot harder now, especially with the change that they did to bonds. Let me get this fixed here. Ugh. With the change they did to bonds, man. It's tough. Mostly just hate the boost mechanic. If you want to dirtle and do nothing as tech low, you play Guardian instead. Or Florian, or Verdance, or what are the other ones? If he has blood in the water here, okay. Still damage. We're gonna go Cog, then this. Yeah. This is an okay hand. Getting hit by back-to-back bonds turn 4 to 5 was the end of it. Yeah, bonds just like does so much for that deck. We took such good tempo on that last turn. Yeah, he's going call. What are we calling for? With limited resources, I could see him grabbing Rigor Mortis here. Yeah, that seems correct. There are several bonds. I'm talking about the one that Katsu plays. There's only one that Katsu plays. Yeah. He's saying he's thinking about his play right now. So we're just chilling. I do like keeping Pummel out of the deck list when into Gravy so far, because I feel like Pummel doesn't really punish Gravy as hard as it does other decks. You're like actively kind of playing towards their game plan. Back-to-back My Bonds is also backbreaking. Yeah, that's true. Assassin Bonds are also very powerful. Going Anka just into the grave. Okay. Yep. Let's see what we get here. It's actually pretty good. We can set this up for the following turn. Play this, pitch this. I do. And then now we have a copper cog that stays around for forever. He's just choosing no blocks. I mean, I'll pump. So this hits, we will instant speed, give it go again. And shoot for 2. Yeah, we took really good tempo on that turn. And now we're able to Arsenal E-Strike and go into kind of a mediocre turn here, but maybe we block with 1. Cog in the Machine I like because it gives us... Actually, do we care? Tipple's clearing our poly. Yeah. Maybe we don't care. And we just try and see what we draw here. Because we could go double crank, draw, E-strike, put whatever is weakest on the bottom. Yeah, double CNC seems pretty powerful. A little sidestep, but have you seen who's been added to DVD? Yes, I saw the Springtrap stuff. I am not much of a fan of playing Five Nights at Freddy's, but I really do enjoy watching people play the game. So the Anka here, you just put another Anka into the yard. Little rough, but we'll see what we can do here. I do like double action pointing here and just kind of seeing what we can do with the turn, because it's possible that we just E-strike and clear 1 Anka and then throw a CNC. Kind of see how he plays out the turn, but we'll see here. Yeah, I think I've told you before, I used to play a lot of Dead by Daylight. That was like my first, when I was first doing like streaming, I played Dead by Daylight. That was like it. It's closing the chain. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but they added a Talishar linking thing to Fabrary. I thought I was going to have so many more games than I actually do. So for this year, I have 140 games. Is there anything that, like, what do you guys have, out of curiosity, if you have your Talishar stuff linked up? Oh, he's tipping. He's tipping. He's trying to get some gold. Man. I think we just take 5 here. There's no go again. I know we do give him a gold, but I think we'll be fine. We definitely need to clear the Ankas. That is without a doubt. We are going to crank. We are going to... Okay. My arsenal was... We'll put this under. Yeah, it was an E-strike. Okay. Barracuda's like actually crazy here. And also the fact that he didn't use this. But that probably means that he is not on a Watery Grave card here. So what we could do is we could double CNC. We could clear one and then throw E-Strike, go again. I actually like that. Let's do this. We'll clear one. Where is it? If you go to Tools, and then all the way down at the bottom it says Talishar Linking. So we'll do this, then we will go here, put this on bottom, we'll go again. I like just trying to keep the board clear and still threatening CNC on this turn. I still think it's very powerful. Fan of FNAF, even though I haven't watched a ton of it, saw the first movie. The movie was really good. The movie was really good. I watched it with Lauren, and we both liked it a lot. I've played 1,147 games. Dude, I was shocked when I saw Simon's. And Simon has like 600 something. So 1,100 is insane. Yeah, Kitty. And Kitty's a little whiner over there. Alright, we can't Palantir. No. No. Get down. Get down. We kind of like Soup Up here as an attack into Barracuda. No, you don't need to be yelling. I kind of like just trying to block a little bit here. Actually, I could go 6. Well, actually, this doesn't threaten anything if I do that. Hold on. Hold on. Because this doesn't threaten anything. There's no ally in play. So I'd have 1 cog. So maybe this Zeppelin is better. Oh my god. Okay. Pause. Come on. Come on, Crazy. Jump down there. She's going a little wild right now. I'm pretty confident he kills my copper cog. Cat is the new streamer. I mean, she might be. Guess the question is how much of my turn just gets taken away. I think we do this and we eat one of the cogs. Because then still we go into the next turn with Zeppelin up. Gravy is very hard. Pockets is over here like struggling. $84 on Acilio, 70-ish at Armories, some number of Verdants, ProQuest RTN London, so 200 to 300. Almost 400 games on Fabry is pretty cool. See, I'm on the low end, like for sure. I actually just like setting up a cog here. I don't think Threatening Life is going to do enough. I like just setting up. We got a Torque tuned. That's actually like so good. I feel like playing into Gravy is like stressful. Very stressful to me. Rigor Mortis is scary. I've also seen 0 of my Sunken Treasures this game, if I'm not mistaken. Or I think I pitched one early. Oh no, I've got 1 here. Okay, I'm a liar. Don't listen to me. I did in fact play one. Stressful how? I feel like it's so hard to decide how you want to play into him, because there's so many different angles of like what is the correct thing to do, versus like what are you doing, because it's like you have to weigh the options of like he's probably able to play like Rigor Mortis this turn, right? And if he plays Rigor Mortis and swings at me, that's pretty powerful. A Vast Yi is even stronger, right? Because if he has a blue in his hand, okay, this is still very good because he still has Dead Threads up. So now we're in this awkward spot of like, he's swinging at me for 6. He has 2 gold on hit, right? And I don't really have a way of clearing both this and this on the next turn. So I would really like to block this out. So I think the best bet that I have here is going 6. This doesn't attack for free, right? I think we block for 6. Liar confirmed, no longer listening. Dude, true. I'm getting a spam phone call. Stack DB? What do you mean by stack DB? Am I missing what you're talking about? What is DB? Dawnblade. Okay. I'm not playing Warrior. Why are you talking about stacking Dawnblade? I know this is risky. I know this is risky. He has a full hand here, but he has 1 block and a 1 block here. If he wants to give up a crucial block on this overpower, I think that's pretty solid. He could also be stuck. We've seen 6 of his allies. There's 2 in play. He's got half his deck left. He could be on a heavier ally hand here and just like lose a turn if he chooses to block. I say lose a turn. He doesn't actually lose a turn, but there are so many actions in this deck. Okay. Barracuda. We want to kill... Okay, hear me out. He can't attack if I choose that one, because this one's tapped now. He's like, I figured you'd do it that way. Second, you get 1 counter, pretty much 1 shots. Yeah. There's another one. Tipple. Man, he has 2. Another gold here doesn't really matter much to me. Just discarding a Conqueror. So I think what we're doing here. Man, I wish this cog was staying for another turn. I can block like here and here. I can go E-strike. Yeah, I kind of have to play it this way. He doesn't have an arsenal anyways, so what we end up having to do is we have to clear using E-strike, which really sucks, but we don't have much of an option here. We need to just get these two off the board. I do realize that he could be drawing into a hand that just like doesn't block, right? But I think just getting allies gone at this point is too crucial. He's still sitting on at least a whaler or two. This is a good one to see. If I had a cog, which I will have one, assuming I get to keep this hand at all. I'll have one, and then I can plus it with Unicycle. Oh, chart. Flip Swabby. Oh, flip back alley into play. Yeah, this might be GG's just off of that play alone. Two action points at this point with an Anka too. Because that one has go again. Now he plays this one. He's down to one action point. Oh man, Murder Scrabble. Whaler on the top. I just wish I had enough to threaten, like, anything here. I'm actually not due. It's just one of these late game situations. Starts getting really scary. I don't have any gold in play, so I'm not able to really do a whole lot. He drew the whaler, which we knew about. Drew another card. He must be looking for like an Avasti, but he's only got one left. Oh, tip. Dead threads. So this is 7. So what sucks here is there's no way for me to clear both. Yo, Pack Redemption. We'll get that immediately after the game is done. Do I feel like I like go again in this deck? Yes. By like a lot. There's so much lack of go again in this deck. It is incredible. Unfortunately, we just have to send a bludger into this. And that's our whole turn. One thing that I have been seeing, and I saw on YouTube, and I think is potentially a clever counterplay, and I want to try it, but we kind of have to wait and see, is I think we just lose. There was a list that I saw. Oh yeah, the Murderous Rabbles are just coming back around. I'm so tempted to just hit concede right away, but we'll block out. We'll see what he can do. Actually, as a rigor mortis, and yeah. Call to the Grave just grabs the... Oh. Why not just grab the back alley break line? I'm somehow still in this. This is harder to block. That's what you get for believing. He has the 1, but it was pitched back in. See, because it's not in his grave. There's the Avasti. Avasti, I'm pretty sure, just wins. So I can go... I go like here, and then we just lose to the next swing, right? Or actually, we don't lose to the next swing, but we go to 1 on the next swing. He has a rum up, yeah. Well, the thing is, he goes to 3 action points with the rum, right? And then he still had an extra card in hand, so he could have swung the Anka as well. Never concede against Gravy, because he always... Yeah. If he runs out, I mean, there's a possibility here, right? But, like... And then I have a weapon that does nothing, and he has 2 allies in play. Yeah. You should have back alley here. Oh. I forgot that was put back in. I had such a good turn and then just like stumbled really hard. But I would definitely say overall, like, yeah, good game, Spockets. I'll even post it here. Gravy also has a weapon that does nothing. I mean, I guess, right? You did. So I was just saying that. You should have... So you played the rum. If you grabbed back alley break line off of your Call to the Grave, you killed me on that turn. Like, you would have had an extra action point and you had an extra resource. But we're all learning here, so it's all good. Forgot you pitched it, yeah. Yep. So I've been seeing, you gotta hear me out on this one. I've been seeing people trying this in their sideboard against Gravy. For specifically Puffin. So you play it as Puffin into Gravy. You've seen it with Victor too. I could see that. Because guaranteed gold. Yep, exactly. So it's an on-hit deal. So it's an on-hit, make a gold, plus go again from Arsenal. Like, I'm questioning who does like free money, dude. Exactly. I love free money. Has to be 3 for the 3 health allies. Yep, exactly. And so, like, you can't play this at blue, you can't play it at yellow, it has to be the red one. So I think it's clever, right? I see where people are going with it. I'm trying to think of if I'm swapping. So we'll look really quick. So this is the list I'm playing right now. Let me swap to this one. So this is the list I'm playing right now. I took out Yellow Zeppelin. So my big changes from the other day, I went down to two Yellow Zeppelins instead of 3. And then link it. If you do deck list, it should link it. ! Deck list. Or deck. ! Deck. I'm bad. Don't listen to me. Is my title wrong? Now that I'm thinking about that. No, it's ! Deck. Okay, there we go. So I changed to 2 yellow Cogwork Zeppelins. They get sideboarded out pretty frequently. Getting 3x of them. You mean for the performance bonus? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. So like, yeah. So for performance bonus, I'm trying to figure out like where do I like cut a little bit here. I feel like this slot sucks. I hate this card. How dependent is Loan Shark? I love Loan Shark. It's definitely a 3 of. The liar confirmed, dude. I keep messing up. I'm sorry. I swear it's not that I'm intentionally lying. Also, I did in fact forget your pack redemption. So let's do that really quick before we go over this. You want high seas, I assume, right? Do you want a kitty cat blessing? We can try and get a kitty cat blessing. Kitty cat, would you like to bless the pack? Are you feeling it? There you go. Okay, thank you. She's blessing the pack for you. We'll see if this one's better than the last one. Do I need 6x Gravy Hate in the sideboard? So the Jolly Bludgers are not just Gravy Hate. The Jolly Bludgers are also in there because they are kind of a requirement into the mirror. They also are in there for what's the other? Verdance and not Jolly Barracuda. So Barracuda is only in there for Gravy and for Prism. So let's get this. Can we get it focused? Can we get it focused? Never wants to focus. It just loves focusing on my big ol' head. Leave the mace in the closet. Ooh. Oh no, it focused back to my face again. How is it focusing on my face? So we got a lot of neat stuff here so far. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. We got a Mutiny. Rally the Coast Guard. I don't mind this at red. Mutiny. Life for Life is pretty solid. Unicycle. Light Fingers. Don't see Barracuda hitting Prism. It can. So the main point is that it's an extra popper. Murderous into Money or Your Life. And then our last guy is Foil Sirens. Maybe something behind it? No. Alright. We are pack 1, pick 1. I'm thinking I'm going to set out my options, and I want to hear what you guys think. Okay. I have 12 poppers if I remove Barracuda. Yeah, which is pretty good. That's why I'm like I'm kind of okay with just like dropping it. The rabble. So the rabble is in the 5 that I picked up. So what I'm thinking is I'm very in between all of these cards. I think all these cards are like very good. For me, I think rabble keeps me the most open. I really like Rally the Coast Guard. It goes really well into most of the decks. The pitch curve is perfect for it, right? So I'm kind of leaning there. I don't dislike Sirens, but I think that it would be a little early to grab it. I think this is maybe like a try and see it on the second cycle around. Gets around, overpowers. Only not played in Redline Marlin. Yep. Rally is better blue than red from what you've played. Okay. Yeah, I think the more I stare at all these, I think my first pick, depending on what I'm trying to force, is one of these two. Probably Rally or Murderous Rabble. Take that as you may. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Like Rally Armor because of Treasure Island. It's fair. Yeah, threatening that on hit is very relevant. So, calling the big guns past Red Skimmer Boots to try and make them Puffin. Dave, you got a point there. You got a good point. Also, our Cat's Blessing unfortunately did not do too great, but the pack itself was not bad. I think that's a good draft pack. 2 Pummel, 2 Barracuda, 2 Performance. You mean for the sideboard here? See, what I've been noticing so far, our Skimmer's bad 0 for 4. You mean at red? At red, I've seen people playing 3 of this at red. I'm specifically playing it at blue because it's a 0 for 2, so it hits the 2 life allies a lot easier. But if you notice, like, into pockets there, this gets the +1 to go up to 3, and into a lot of their... You pretty much need 3 damage into a lot of their cards. And so previously I think this was Murderous Rabble, which is a little bit inconsistent considering how many reds you run in the deck. Like, you're up here on 27 reds, and that's kind of tough. So my big thing, you gotta hear me out on it, is I hate this card. I wish this card wasn't here. So part of me is like, if I just took these 2 cards out, I could do some shenanigans, right? Because I like sideboarding this card out more than I like playing it. So I think it probably just shouldn't be in the deck. Then we're sitting at the rest of the cards here, right? So Sunken Treasure, obviously really good into Gravy, right? So if I'm looking specifically to counter Gravy, and this is my Gravy counter, then this probably, because it's a little bit less consistent, I could maybe see taking Sky Skimmer and putting another Sunken Treasure in as another option, or taking out some of the Galvanized blocks here, going up 1 Sunken Treasure here. I like Torque Tuned, I like Infused Titanium. I think if I'm cutting 1, it's probably got to be Torque Tuned. And then I can up my Sunken Treasures back to 3, which helps me in that Gravy matchup quite a bit, right? And then we're on a lot of Galvanize here, like a lot of Galvanize. So I don't know if I need this much Galvanize, or if I want to maybe cut in different different areas. because right now I'm at 58. Another consideration, just to think about, is blunderbuss. So blunderbuss comes in like longer, more fatiguey matchups, right? But I've been D-Reacts, I have Fate Foreseen, that's it. So blunderbuss, let's quickly load up heroes here. I made a spreadsheet at work, forgot to save it, and then I was like, damn it. So really quickly, decks that we want blunderbuss in against, okay? It's going to be small, so we need to determine whether or not it's relevant or not. Okay? Huntsman, already not relevant. Betsy, not relevant. Bravo, not relevant. Okay? IE, maybe relevant. For a greater meta, IE could be seen. I don't think up until this point we would see most of these decks, though. So kind of hesitant still. Then we get into the ones that are actually scary. Florian. Florian you want it in. Pretty awkward still sometimes, but maybe I could also see just kind of moving away from blunderbuss in the sideboard and letting Florian have turns that are a little bit more effective into us. Jarl, you want to bring it in against. Gives you a way of paying around frostbites, but I could also see a very, very good reason for playing the one that doesn't cost anything into Jarl, because then you're not paying 3 for a gunshot, you're paying 1 for a gunshot. So, little toss-up there. Then the only other ones that I can reasonably see bringing in blunderbuss against are decks that I don't think are good right now, which are like Olympia, Teklo, Volta. Yeah, that's about it. So I think the more that I've tested, the less I've liked this card. So I'm thinking I could just cut it. And then now we're sitting at 3 open slots. We should be, yeah. But with 58 in the main, right? So if we wanted to say, hey, Volda's unknown. Yeah, Volda's still relatively unknown. So what we could do is we could do, not that, I pressed the wrong button. So what we could do is we could take this down to 57 cards, and we can go to perform, if I can type performance, performance bonus in the sideboard, right? We can slot in 3 performance bonus. We can put 1 sunken treasure here in the sideboard as another concession to decks that sunken treasure is very powerful into. So like a good example is like great into Phi, great into Syndra, especially the Redline Syndra, and can be very, very powerful into the Gravy. So kind of a toss-up there. Yeah, it's also pretty decent into Assassins. Just being able to flip cards over is pretty good. So I could reasonably say this is a good bring-in for Assassins. And I don't mind going above 60 cards into Assassin either. And so I can kind of see myself going here. I can flip daggers. Oh yeah, I can flip daggers in that matchup. But then they just, Graphene. Just depends. I think it depends. But I think having a sunken treasure, like a 3rd sunken treasure in the sideboard for the relevant matchups where you like really want a 3rd, I think could be the option here. And then that way you're starting at 57. You have a pretty concise 3 that you want to bring into a decent amount of matchups. And then like into Gravy, right? You get this just like crazy good sideboard. You get to slam in all these cards, right? You drop Pummel. You probably drop maybe like a Conqueror maybe some of the higher cost stuff, like a Palantir. Palantir's kind of like... Palantir can be a little bit more difficult to set up, but maybe with performance bonus you can set up Palantir a little bit better. So maybe, like, you cut a Conqueror. It's hard to say. I think I'm going to have to do a lot of stuff to figure out how to fit this in, if I want it to be here. But I definitely think opening up our sideboard to some more options is, like, crucial for the future of the deck. Because I think otherwise we're just, like, we're pivoting into a meta where it's like, it's really difficult for us to overcome a few things. Was never a Mace fan. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. We'll have to see here. I think, let's look at this really fast, because I'm not going to be online for too much longer. So I'll have just a little extra chit chat here, looking at some. Okay, that's skewed because of how little. But like heavily losing, heavily losing. Heavily losing. Don't make me click on this. I don't want to do that. We'll do a little mech comparison right now. How about that? Because I always can fall back to Dash.io, and I love Dash.io. She's one of my favorite decks. Poor Max and Teklo. Dude, this is we're talking about mechanologists right now. Okay. These are the mechanologists, right? I mean, like, there's no point. They're doing worse than Marlin. Actually, I think Teklo. Okay. If Marlin is at 37% with this many games, and Teklo's at 36%, bro, that's crazy. People thought this deck was gonna be the best deck in the fucking format. That's crazy. Okay. Check Gravies. I'll pull up Gravies as well. Here, we'll do mechs and pirates. Let's do that. All right. So let's look at real matchups in this new meta, right? Slippy. Slippy's pretty good right now. Slippy's looking like he's having a rough time into Dio, or at least an even time into Dio, and looks like some IEs are farming a little bit. Mario looking pretty rough. I don't know how you could improve these win rates here for Puffin. That's something I think that would need to get figured out going forward. Is how do you fix the assassin matchup? And is it just that you're kind of fucked, like, because you're playing pirate, or is there maybe, like, do you have to go boost to win this matchup? Is a good question. Be interested. This matchup exists for this weekend only, so don't care. This matchup is going to be pretty relevant, and all of these heroes have a bad matchup into her. But thankfully, Dio's pretty even. Dio's not looking terrible here, and Puffin looks like she's starting to gain gain a little bit here. 37% is not too bad. Thank goodness Gravy's good versus Betsy. Dude, I'm surprised there's 131 games on Betsy, if I'm being honest. But, man, Gravy hits right here, and it's just, like, straight red. That looks so bad. But I genuinely think, like, the matchups that people are going to want to see here. So let's take out decks that aren't as relevant. If I click on your favorite deck, I'm sorry. But I'm not at the same time. The top 10. Okay, we can get it down to 10. I'm only taking Azalea off. I'm only taking Azalea off because she's probably going to LL. Okay? So give me a little break here on that one. We're taking Fi out because you should just play Syndra. Top 10. So if we're going top 10, like, best decks in the format right now. Best decks in the format right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn, I need to cut more. Gravy's favored versus Jarl. Yeah, apparently. So here's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We gotta cut 4 more. Alright. I hate to do it. Hate to do it. God. I hate to do it. I think Acilio's right on the cusp. They're like right there. Mitch is saying all the stuff that I'm thinking right now. Okay. What are we at? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're at 12. I feel like this is probably a good representation here. I don't know that I can get it down to 10. I think Acilio is better than Dio or Kasai. I think Kasai's fucking crazy good right now. Because of this matchup right here. Like, you cannot deny that. What we can do, actually, here. Look at Kasai's numbers right here. A 50%, 50%, a little bit lower. Less relevant because this isn't a huge meta share. So maybe we take her out. 50%, little unfavored, very favored, very favored. A little bit less favored, but it's also a wizard matchup. Definitely unfavored, but it's a wizard matchup. This is the mirror. And then, like, solid prism matchup. So, I think, as much as I hate it because I'm a Dio lover, we're cutting it to 11 here. Okay. Kasai has earned her spot up here, in my opinion. You can't look at those win rates into these heroes and say that that's not fucking crazy good. So, looking at C, Kasai loses to most wizards is the issue. Yep, and Verdance is getting crazy strong right now. If I could, I wish I could drag these in order of, like, importance. But I think if you're looking for important matchups right now, it's this one right here. It's this one right here. Maybe this one. This one for sure. And then these two. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, some of these other ones are mostly good because they shit on this deck. Like, really hard. And people don't know how to play into this deck anymore because it's been so long since they've been played. So, now, how about this? We'll keep the C guys in here. We'll look at some of these decks and we'll look at how well they're performing, right? We know Florian is dipping down quite a lot right now. Like, quite a lot right now. So I think that he kind of is in an awkward spot. So here we've got 10. Let me zoom out. Can we get better? Can we get everybody on screen? Yeah, we can get everybody on screen. So we're going to look for green spots, okay? Green spots are indicative of decks that are probably performing decently well. But what worries me is you look at this Jarl. Look at Jarl right here. Look at how many green matchups are right here. That's bad for him. That's actually, like, really bad for him. He's losing here, losing to fucking Illusionist, which is mind-blowing for a Guardian. But at the same time, like, I don't understand why this matchup is so polarizing this way. It makes no sense to me. You should have enough poppers to just, like, stop her thing and then still present something. Just play Fatigue, you're a Jarl. Like, these matchups being bad, this matchup being bad, like, maybe Jarl just shouldn't be here. Jarl used to not have poppers because of new. Yeah, so that could change, right? So this matchup spread could change. How's it going, Russian? You unfortunately know how to play versus Dory since one of your locals is Dory main. Dude, that's how I felt with new for a very long time. But just how it be. Marlin looks so bad. It's not even... I'm just going to take her off the screen. What's up, Dragon Party Podcast? How you doing? I've got a new deck list. We were working on changing around some stuff today. If you want to see the full deck list, do !deck in chat. You can see some of the changes we're making. We're also just talking about meta right now because I'm gonna have to get going here in a little bit. Marlin makes me sad. I wish Marlin was better. So the biggest thing here that I'm looking at is Jarl, despite people thinking that he's very strong because he can break Gravy's Compass, has a pretty bad win rate. With like a decent amount of games too. He's got 5K games. He's got more games than Florian. I mean, less than Syndra, but about as much as some of the other heroes, and he's got a 41%. I think that's pretty bad. I think it's not too great. I think Jarl's gonna need to come off of this little chart we're making here. Still have not found anything performing better than that yellow list that's been working for you. That's cool. I mean, if it's working for you, then definitely stick with it. I think Boost Puffin is good. Like, I think she's very good. Do I want to play Boost Puffin? No. But that's just a preference thing. So I think looking at this meta share, right? I think you're looking at arguably these. This is a 10. This is 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I think these are the 10 best decks, if I had to guess. Still figuring out Gravy. Dude, Gravy's hard. Gravy's really hard when you're looking at matchup spreads like these guys that are just preying on you. Super hard. Like, pretty bad matchup here and pretty bad matchup here. I think it's a little bit of gem lottery, but we'll have to see. I think if Gravy continues to be good, then Slippy gets really good. But if Slippy's really good, it makes Mario really good, right? So you have this like weird toss up there, because you have at least if the numbers don't lie, you are very, very slightly favored into Mario, and if Mario's getting better, then then he potentially pulls down Slippy. On the Pirate side of Puffin have liked lists that do not play Pummel. So I'm on Pummel still, but I've been less favored to it so far. I'm not on Goldwing because I don't like the fact that I could potentially just lose the game from a one-turn play if anybody plays Ripple Away. I'm not interested in setting myself up for failure like that. So there's definitely some tough there. Acilio's higher win rate than Verdant's this month. Is she? Or is Acilio? Let me pull him up here. Yeah, but if you look at it, like, so he's winning in the Florian matchup slightly more, but he's losing these matchups here that Verdance is doing way better in. Giving Stalts go again both sides of the table is very rough. That's why I also think like Uzuri could reasonably peak back up if Slippy becomes really good. You can just be like, oh, okay, like I'll play Uzuri and just play less of isolates. Show Uzuri. I mean, look at that Slippy matchups. I mean, granted, there's 14 games, right? Like, there's not a lot of people testing Uzuri right now, but like, matchup spread wise, like, you're winning here, you're not winning here, but it could just be sample size. No, that's pretty decent. This is like, so you're like abysmal into the Earth Heroes, but everything else is like relatively even or slightly unfavored. 11 most played in June. Okay. Fang makes sense. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, some of this is just like biased data from the new set, right? So you have like a ton of Gravy, a ton of Marlin, and a ton of Puffin because people were just forced to test on here rather than testing in person. Slippy and Cinder are cursed for Acilio. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, at least looking at my own list, right? Just to kind of close out here. I feel like there's a really... So, Boost Puffin wins this matchup significantly more, the Earth Heroes. Finding out how to improve this is going to be pretty important. But also, you're at a 50% here. So should I be dedicating more spots here, or should I be dedicating more spots to Earth? It's possible that I just need to dedicate more spots to the Earth Heroes and some of these bad matchups here, rather than focusing fully in on trying to clear Gravy. Because if Gravy is just a 50-50, it assumes that people are playing the sideboard similarly. Have Florian fallen off? Yes, by like a lot. There's a lot less people playing Florian right now. You should learn Mario for the World Qualifier. I think if you want to play one of these two decks, I would probably say, if you want to master one, I would master Mario before I would master Slippy. I think it's going to teach you better play patterns if you play Marionette. But that's just me. I could be wrong. Don't take everything I say for truth. Like I said earlier, I'm a liar, so don't listen to me. But if I had to make the choice, I'd pick Mario. Flooring is falling off because of Verdance and Acilio. Yeah, so like he has a pretty rough matchup into Wizards just in general. So the more that Wizards continue to do well, he's just gonna shit the bed. So it's nice to see him come down and play a little bit, but there's a lot of people swapping over to Verdance, where I think she is becoming more of the deck to beat right now. Actually, Fang being played more matters. Yeah, Fang's solid. It's just that he's one of those decks that, like, I mean, look at these, like, red matchups. Like, he's pretty, I mean, this is a bad example, but, like, he's winning a decent amount of these matchups. Like, he's winning into Slippy, he's winning into the Warriors, winning into Florian. I could see Fang being pretty solid. Maybe Fang is like a breakout deck this weekend. Not that New was holding him back at all, but I don't know. Alright, I gotta get ready to make dinner and do all that fun stuff. I'm probably gonna be hanging out, play some games after this, after I'm done with dinner. So if you keep an eye out on Discord, if anybody wants to play games, let me know. If you want to join the Discord, you can join the Discord at the link. If you're on YouTube, you can join the Discord at the link in the description, or you can join the Discord at the link that I just posted into the Twitch chat there. We're a really small community, just a bunch of people hanging out, talking about Flesh and Blood. Sometimes we talk about life stuff. It's all good vibes, though. Definitely join in, hang out, chit-chat. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for joining in today. I will be back at it... Not next week, actually. I'm not streaming next week. I'm going out of town. So, we'll figure some stuff out. We might stream earlier this next week. Like Monday through Thursday, somewhere in that range. But that would be... It's big maybe on that one. But I will be jamming probably not Flesh and Blood, but I'll be playing like League of Legends, Fortnite. If you guys want to hang out, jam some games with me, just let me know. If you see me online on Discord, you can always message me and we can just jam other stuff in addition to Flesh and Blood. So, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys later. Peace.